What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, the resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I'm here with my review for Captain America: Brave New World. And if you have not seen this film, come on back, because there will be spoilers. First off, I apologize for the delay. This is a long overdue reaction. Long overdue. Thank you to everybody who has started following me recently, whether it be from the shorts you get recommended, seeing me on Blurs in the Hood with my brother Winston A. Marshall, new rock stars, if it's Collider, all these different things, no matter wrestling, stand-up, no matter where you know me from, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you so much. To tell you why, a little bit why, I always keep saying life is lifing, man. And I know you're like, yo, Jay, how's life always lifing? I pull the curtain back on entertainment. As a stand-up comedian, you see a lot of us doing all these shows, and until you're a major name that's commanding major money, you're working for pennies. And then on top of that, a lot of comedians you see that's working that's kind of able to do a lot of things that not are the big names. Some are just single people. And I'm a dad, I'm a father of two, and they're my priority. You know, so when I go without, it's because I don't want them to. And that's neither here nor there. But thank y'all. Let me get into how I feel about blacks in America. Overall, I did not like this as a Captain America movie. And I want you all to hear me well when I say this again. I did not like this as a Captain America movie. And I say that because this feels more so like Captain America dropped into an Incredible Hulk sequel. Everything about this was an Incredible Hulk sequel, from Samuel Stearns, the leader, you know, knowing Tim Blake Nelson was back in it, to Thaddeus Ross becoming the Red Hulk, which I wish they would have never shown us him being the Hulk. I wish we would have never seen anything. I don't even want to see a fist. I am so mad all of the marketing gave that away, because that's the biggest thing about this. You know, you have all that. You all the things that led up to it. I went with a group of friends, my Blurred Brunch group, and all of us, we went and we literally said this, and I quote, yo, we are here to support our homie Mackie. We're here to support the homie Mackie. Anthony Mackie is one of the homies. So we're like, yo, we're here to support Mackie. Because we already felt a certain way about what this movie might be. Not only hearing about reshoots, hearing about changes, hearing and seeing what they were only advertising for the film. And now, I've always talked about this in every review I've done or whenever I'm on air. Reshoots are a part of movie making. It is what it is. It is just this one had to go under some extensive ass reshoots because of one particular character, first and foremost. The character Sabra in the comics is an IDF agent who is also a mutant. She is in the comics. Well, when this movie was being put together, the ideas were being conceptualized and everything was drawn together and the script was written up, the unfortunate events of October 7th hadn't happened. So after October 7th, then they had to go back to the drawing board. It was like, oh shit, what do we do? So how do we take this character out? But the problem is they had the bits and pieces it because she's in a lot of the movie, and in order to get really rid of her, you would have to reshoot an entire movie. And that is beyond the scope of a budget. So they take a lot of her out. And in the parts that they did keep in for, they retconned her. Now, how did they retcon her, Jay? Well, instead of her being an IDF agent, as in the comics, they made her a widow from the Red Room. Now, you know, that's what we got. Yelena Belova. We got Natasha Romanoff. You saw all the other widows from the Black Widow movie, You saw Dreykov's daughter. You saw all those widows. Here's my issue with this. Her as a widow was so unbelievable because she is so tiny. She is so pocket size. She's just like a little tiny cute little golem. Like you could just put the precious together. And I know some people are going to be like, but Jay, when I looked at the heights, she's no more than like an inch shorter than Scarlett Johansson. And that is true. But the issue with that is, from Iron Man 2 onto her untimely demise in Endgame, every time we saw, even in Black Widow, every time we saw Natasha Romanoff, when she did something, you're like, yo, that's the Black Widow we know from the comics that's whooping ass. It's believable. It looks realistic. And again, I understand the suspension of disbelief, all these different things. I understand that part. But the problem is, again, she was so ingrained in the film. Now, there were parts that were still left with her, and it was just like, well, this makes no sense. And those parts could have been given to Saoirse Rockmore, who plays a Secret Service agent who was super close to the president. I was like, yo, y'all could have just gave all of this to her and just called it a day. I digress. So how do you edit taking her out? You add more something. What did you add more of? Giancarlo Esposito, a sidewinder. Now, you know, he's the head of the Serpent Society. So you're like, cool. We're going to get the Serpent Society, right? 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 The Serpent, they're going to... No. They said the Serpent Society is in the movie. It's going to be... Nope. He's the only member. They cut out my bro Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Tyler Black, known the homie from back in the day. We've done IWA Mid-South shows, Midwest Wrestling together, all this type of stuff. And another, I forgot who else played another member of the Serpent Society. They cut out. And you could tell they added in scenes of Giancarlo Esposito's thing. And it's like they were just trying to fill in the blanks. But again, the fill in the blanks lent itself more to the Incredible Hulk side of this. Now, on the Captain America end, parts that I did rock with, I love Isaiah Bradley. I am a fan of Carl Lumbly. I have been a fan since Mantis. And a lot of people just now realized who Mantis was since him being Isaiah Bradley in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And his relationship with Sam and how he does not really... He supports Sam carrying the shield, but he knows what he went through being Captain America and being jailed and drugged and experimented on and jailed and all this stuff for doing his job, and he understands that. And then to have him go into the white... So there was a scene that everybody sees in the trailers. Well, they took out the first trailer again, but after certain things happened. But the scene where Isaiah shoots at the president in the White House. Now, you find out they're in the White House, which, by the way, okay, hear me out. I don't care who you are. You're telling me everybody just walked in the White House, nobody had to get metal detected. And he was able to just bring a gun in the building. What? Find out that the leader's using mind control through a cell phone song, and you're like, oh, this is some bullshit. But this ties into Sam Wilson being Cap and Sam being a regular human. There's been a big debate about why Sam isn't a super soldier. Now, if you know the story of Sam Wilson, he's always just been a great soldier. When he finally decides to take up the mantle, he wanted to prove that a regular soldier, a regular man, a good man, could be Captain America. And of course, that's why we tried to get John Walker, U.S. agent, who, after his only black friend got to see the crossroads, he then takes the serum, and that's how we get MAGA Cap. And so, y'all gonna be mad I said that. I know. And I always say, people gonna be in their feelings. They're gonna be in the comments. And I'm not taking this part out. But Sam never wanted to. Now, I understand. If you look at Sam, what he does with the shield in his fights, with just his Wakandan, new Wakandan suit and all the tech he has currently, I'm going to be honest. If Sam had the serum, this is going to probably be, and I say probably be, an unpopular opinion. I think Sam would be a better Cap than Steve Rogers. Steve can fight. He trained. You see all this. But look at what Sam is doing without the serum. Steve wasn't able to do any of that until he got the serum and trained. So imagine what Sam could do afterwards. But that's a discussion for a later day. He never wanted to have the serum. Isaiah goes to jail, all this stuff. He's trying to prove Isaiah's innocent. Joaquin Torres is there. He's the little kid that, I want to fly with you. And Sam like, oh, okay. I get to fly. That's what it felt like. I wish, and I take this quote from my homie Mark Bernardin. There should have been a scene, and more so, instead of Joaquin Torres being knocked out, because there's a point where Joaquin Torres gets knocked out of the air and crashes into the ocean. He crashed into the ocean. Rest in peace, Ralphie May. And he's in the hospital. Now, he'll end up eventually walking all this other stuff, but if you crash in the ocean on your back, you are supposed to die. That is physics. Now, I know you're going to be like, well, it depends on how high up he was. He was high up, okay? So, There should have been instead Sam have a major injury and he's almost on the verge of death and needs a blood transfusion. And the only person that could help him and or either is compatible is Isaiah Bradley. And because this way now, Isaiah is the one to give a transfusion to Sam. Isaiah's blood saves Sam, and not only does it save him, but it gives him the serum because the serum is in Isaiah's blood. But also, you enhance the bond between the two. It Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, did he beat up Red Hulk? Yes, but no. Also, he could have just did the hey, these cherry blossoms. He just went. This is what he did in the movie, y'all. Hey, these cherry blossom trees, you bring your daughter. Your daughter don't like you. Your daughter ain't gonna like you taking down these trees. And he was like, yeah, you right. And he calmed down. Me and a lot of us was watching the movie hoping he was gonna go, sun's going down real low, big fella. Give him one of those. And the problem with that is this whole discussion about these cherry blossoms you see it in the trailers, and it happens in the film, is that this is what Betty Ross, his daughter, played by Liv Tyler in the original film, likes all this. Okay, so you keep hearing these drops to Betty Ross, and Betty doesn't want to talk to him, and all these things, and he wants to eventually take Betty to see the trees again and go walk with her. You think maybe Sam doesn't have to beat him. This is where Liv Tyler comes in, and then he calms down and turns back. Because you find out the leader is the reason, of course, that he became the Hulk. But the way the leader got him was he kidnapped the leader after the events of the Incredible Hulk, had the leader, do some things, and had his heart not acting right. And the leader get like, hey, I'm a doctor, I'm gonna give you these heart pills, my nigga. I'm gonna write this prescription, go to CVS, they're gonna hook you up. But if they say they can't do it, I got some right here. But the heart pills he gave him were actually gamma laced. So he was little by little dropping gamma in his system to turn him into a Hulk. Okay. But if you would have had, when he's so frustrated, they get to the cherry blossoms, Liv Tyler should have shown up and calmed him down. That could have worked. They didn't do that. Liv Tyler only shows up after, wait for it, the president himself says, I fucked up, man. Put me in the raft. I'm sorry. A president taking accountability for himself? What? Under what country? Because it ain't like 17 different countries I can name. Those presidents are not taking accountability for self. I digress. He goes to put himself in the raft, and then here comes Liv Tyler. I was like, oh, y'all only could get her for this scene, or y'all didn't want to drop no money. It just doesn't, a lot of it doesn't make sense. The leader looked terrible. The leader looked like they let a kid do spray paint for the facial color, and then they was like, yo, what should his hair look like? Well, in the comic books, he got a big ass dome that's like this, and it's womp, right? Oh, we're not gonna do that. What we gonna do? We need something squiggly. Should it look like brains? Nah, I got something better. What should it look like? Nuts. What type of nuts? Yo nuts. What you mean my nuts? Yeah, scrotum. Huh? Yeah, it look like a scrotum sack. Because that's what it looked like on his head. This is, again, I joke around and all these different things. And there could have, inside of this movie was a good movie that wasn't allowed to come out. I'll say that. It also, this movie was supposed to, it was originally called New World Order. Then it got turned to Brave New World. And I called it New Negro Order. And there was a movie trapped in here, and Disney was too scared of people crying. Oh, it's too woke. And this whole shit got changed. They were too scared of the backlash of what could happen with this character, because they already were, we already catching hell because we got a black Captain America, when Marvel has done it in the comics. It's a thing. This is, we talk about the comics. This is a set thing. A black Captain America is in the comics. Go for it. If you are going to do a Captain America movie, not only is it going to be a thriller, it is going to be, to an extent, political. Because even Chris Evans has said Captain America doesn't represent America as itself, as the country. He doesn't. He represents the ideals of what it's supposed to stand for. They should have just pulled the trigger and went with it. There was a great movie trapped in this, but you nitpicked in bits and pieces and just combined two things. Now, if you're wondering why we haven't gotten an official Incredible Hulk sequel, it's because Universal still has the rights to that. But did I want this movie to be A1 perfect for my friend? Yes. Did I want this movie to be A1 perfect for me? Yes. Do I know shit happens? Absolutely. Do I know that sometimes people are victims of reshoots or rewrites and things like that? Yes. And unfortunately, both of Anthony Mackie's projects have been the results of that. If you go back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, the original plot for Falcon and Winter Soldier was the Flag Smashers were trying to not only steal the super soldier serum, but they were trying to create a global pandemic. The problem was, while they were shooting that, actual global pandemic was going on. And people were dropping like flies. So they had to rewrite that. And I know people say, well, we know what we got on TV. Yes, I understand. I got it. Again, actual events affected this as well. And I know what we got. Do I want my brother to succeed? Absolutely. We're going to see him going forward. We're going to have eventually, Cap is going to reform his Avengers. He basically made Joaquin Torres an Avenger. He knighted him an Avenger while he was in his hospital bed recovering. You my Puerto Rican brother, an Avenger. Ding. So you have that. You're going to have Cap's Avengers. You're going to have different teams of Avengers. I'll get to that later. I just wanted this movie to be more. You try to replace a character by adding more of a character that was kind of pointless. Like I said, there was a scene where there's a shootout between Sidewinder and Cap, and maybe that could have been a scene where he got injured and shot up, and Isaiah with the transfusion thing. You were trying to meddle so much in together and stitch and weave, and you made a chimera of a film. Look, y'all know I'm a Marvel fan. I'm a DC fan. A lot of people say I'm just a Marvel shill. But I'm also honest when I don't rock with something as heavy as I wanted to or should or whatever the case may be. Friends are not. And if you know me, again, name drop, I know several Avengers. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, I've said my thoughts on this. I want to know what y'all think in the comments below. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make sure I say it loud, clearly, so y'all understand me. Keep this shit civil. We are talking about a fucking comic book movie. Yes, I know this movie can have a lot of political themes. I understand it can rile emotions. But we're talking about a comic book fucking movie and fictional characters. There is not a black man or a white man running around with a shield saving the values of the country, blah, blah, blah. We don't know this. I don't think there's not a giant. Oh, the adamantium shit. Nigga, what? Oh, yeah. So adamantium is in Tiamat, okay? It's in Tiamat. It's in the Celestial that came up from the Eternals. We brought that back. Adamantium is in it. It's the most indestructible metal ever, and all they was able to harness out was some little pieces that seemingly only Japan has that was stolen, and there's a little more. But that's it. It's just to say, hey, adamantium's here. There's no usage of it. There's no, what are we going to do with this metal? There's none of that. It's just adamantium's here. Okay. Adamantium is here. Fine. Cool. All right, so what else? No, that's it. Adamantium's here. You just wanted to introduce. I get it. You're dropping the Easter eggs that the X-Men are coming. We know this. We know they're coming. The adamantium. Oh shit! They finally found it. That means eventually the dude that we saw in the story in She-Hulk that has claws can now get those claws covered. I get it. But like I said, I want to know y'all thoughts below. All right. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, please. If you want to support. If you want to send some support and some love, you can send a super thanks, or you can hit up my Venmo at Mr. J. Washington, Cash App Mr. J. Washington. But I want you to make sure you support and show love, please. Thank you so much, everything. Make sure you subscribe to Blurs in the Hood, the Blurs in the Hood channel. We're coming back soon. We're trying to do it more frequently when our schedules allow, but we're trying to do more Blurs in the Hood. Check out the Nancast, myself, Chris Burns, Pap Johnson, Fatima Talia over there. We're doing that. Mad Titan Podcast, as far as that, I need to record an episode. It is hard trying to sit up and talk by yourself for an hour. I did this for like 20-something minutes, but an hour was a little longer. Yeah. So, with that being said, thank y'all for rocking with your boy. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. I'll be back with another review. I'm going to try to put up a review a day because I got some ones to catch up on. So, I'll holler at y'all later. Take care.